Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day for us.
Walked in.
Let me.
Yes, I know.
Really
we
proud
know
of
that
this
you have
one.
donkey on your sweatshirt.
Okay, good,
Really
you're
proud
not.
of this
Your
one.
sweater.
He has donkey on a sweater, everybody.
Yeah.
You're locked into that thing for like 2 hours.
Not sure what
now.
Shrek has to do with Christmas, but
Oh, well, he did a bunch of Christmas specials. They sold Shrek out hard.
I bet they did. Actually, you're right about that. And I don't even know if you know that. I just think that you're right.
I know. Yeah, because there was a Christmas special that had like monsters versus aliens on it. And
Yeah.
All the DreamWorks
Fu
properties.
Panda.
Yeah.
Some DreamWorks executives here and all this. He's a genius.
hey, he bought a new 12-bedroom house.
Off Shrek
All
money.
because don't kill us Christmas.
That looks good.
That's one of my favorite quotes from our previous employment. He helped me buy my third house.
No.
And all of us were in a meeting being like,
I have
Oh,
no
was that
houses.
Steven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll now be in charge of everything.
yeah, I know. We're like, what?
Yeah.
Who cares?
This man started a Ponzi scheme.
He got richer.
Was he the one that was selling the Bitmojis or whatever? No, that was the guy
No.
that wrote the book.
Yeah, that was the
wrote
guy
the book on Bitmoji.
Oh,
No,
no.
Man, Bitmoji's a huge thing now. He was right.
Nah.
Was
Wait.
it Bitmojis? No, it
No,
was
no,
like
it's
Zandy or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
they were
no.
they were avatars. They're-
MView?
No, it's IMVU. Yeah,
IMVU, yeah.
or
I
MVU or
I
however.
think, I think you called it InView. And it's just all these things like, hello, would you like to have sex
Buy
with me?
clothes me,
People
buy clothes me.
People loved it.
And he was like, he
Minimum
was a total
viable
piece of
product.
Yeah,
shit.
that worked.
We were surprised people liked it. I wrote a book about it.
Total piece
That's
of
one of
shit.
those weird things where you've never seen anyone use it ever in
No.
your life, but you've seen ads
I've
for
seen
it
the
everywhere.
ads everywhere.
So I'm
Must be
curious
huge.
what its actual user base
Dark
was.
Tower did amazing. I saw billboards everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Welcome to LA.
Yeah.
If there's billboards for it. It must be successful. You guys seen Gigi Gorgeous yet?
Who?
There are billboards all over the damn place.
Oh yeah. No,
for
no,
like
I have not
3
seen
months.
that. Yeah.
Well, it must have been successful, Bruce. There were billboards everywhere.
I just saw the billboards.
That's my theory about Avatar. That thing was a marketing blitz. And everyone's like,
No
I
one
gotta see
actually
it.
saw it.
No, everyone saw
Everybody
it.
saw it,
But they went and
yes.
saw it because they thought it was popular. It was like,
You're describing marketing.
no, I know. That was the biggest marketing they've ever seen for a movie. They were like, it's going to make $1 billion because we fucking said so.
That's marketing.
Yeah, I know, but then
That's
it did.
what you're describing marketing.
So it worked.
So that's not a theory. It's yes, you're right.
Yeah, it worked.
This isn't you putting newspaper clippings together in your basement.
Who wants to play Battle Chef Brigade?
I'll do it.
All right, Bruce. Hey, everybody, welcome to welcome
You
to
can't see me.
Yeah, they could see your donkey. Yes, don't worry.
Make sure they can see it.
welcome to Make Good Bowl of Dude Soup. You didn't like last week, so you sent it back, and the restaurant was like, "Whoa, we hear you, soup fans, loud and clear. We're gonna do everything we can to make it right for you. So here's your soup with no extra charge, except it still doesn't have half the ingredients, and all the sides are garbage
Didn't
too.
last week do really well?
Yeah, well, our video did. Yes,
But not Battlefront.
no,
2.
yeah. See, it's the analog I'm getting to there. So we got our soup expert James. Hey, James.
Hi.
We have would you still consider yourself a Star Wars fan, Bruce?
Me? Absolutely. Are you kidding?
Okay,
I still
just
read the books and shit.
Just
Yeah.
want to make sure. Star Wars fan, Bruce.
Yeah.
And then there's Adam.
I hope to own a Chewbacca one day.
He's sitting in a wheelchair today.
Well, in case I got to move.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. You wanna be on the roll if you can be.
It's more comfortable than the torture chairs we normally sit in.
But if I scoot it this way, there we go.
Nice thing. You can see donkey.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Want that a little more
Nice
in there.
present. Good.
This
What?
podcast is brought to you by two sponsors, both of which you can see right now, Movement and Tipsy Elves. Movement's giving you a 15% off discount with free shipping and free returns at movement.com/dudesoup. They sell watches. And then Tipsy Elves, they sell all kinds of flamboyant clothing. You can get your ugly holiday sweaters right now at tipsyelves.com and use our code DUDESOUP. Get 20% off.
Stay tuned to see my sweater later in
Yeah.
the show when I put it on.
Gotta tease it up.
love Christmas.
We hooked him. Got hooked.
That's a good Shrek impersonation.
Yeah, Shrek.
love
That's what I was doing.
He's really good at Shrek impersonations.
Good sounding Shrek.
All right, boys. Battlefront Part 2. Battlefront 2, as it were.
Part 2. Part
Yeah.
2.
It's
second.
man, this is a developing story. And audience, lest you roll your eyes at the continued battle frontage. There's a reason that this is kind of becoming a big deal. It's sort of being seen as a battleground or a battlefield, if you will, on the future of games and how they will monetize. So there's a lot of people that I think are, in this case, pretty justifiably concerned or worried about how the situation is going to shake out, because it will sort of dictate what companies do in the future and how much money they will try and siphon off of you. So, we got some shit going on ever since last week. So in the middle of last week's podcast, somebody tweeted at us that EA had reduced, like slashed all the acquisition costs for all the heroes. I guess to really roll it back. So here's the core of the issue. Summarize it real quickly. Battlefront 2 came out. People that got early access, either through EA Access or by buying the $80 version of the game, were shocked to play it and find out that both Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader were locked. So even though you paid for the fucking game, you couldn't play as all the characters, even the one that I guarantee you marketing data told them would be the most popular, Darth Vader. And it was also a ridiculous task to unlock them. Essentially, you had to play for some 40 hours to get the in-game currency to do it. So I think players were rightly upset about that. There was a huge ordeal. Got the most downvoted Reddit post in all of history when essentially...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
An EA community
account said, like, hey, we're trying to help you guys, and we hear every... It was just like the most boilerplate answer, and so full of crap, basically. It just got downvoted to oblivion. So EA did the quote-unquote right thing. They announced they're removing all monetization for now. So they've turned off in-game purchases. This is via VentureBeat. Quote, earlier today, and this is circa, let me get the date. Circa November 16th. Earlier today, Electronic Arts Chief Executive Officer Andrew Wilson had a phone call with Walt Disney Consumer Products and Interactive Media Chairman Jimmy Pitaro about Star Wars Battlefront 2, according to news sources familiar with the situation. A few hours after that call, players are finding out that they can no longer make in-game purchases with real money. EA's turned off the ability to throw money at Battlefront because the audience has been too upset about it. One of the interesting things I saw is that a lot of the press that was kind of elevating out of like Reddit and gamer culture websites and stuff was basically saying, yo, EA is marketing gambling directly to kids. And I don't know if it was the gamer outrage or that headline specifically that caused Disney to hit the panic button, call EA, but they did, and they flexed their muscle, and EA had to roll back their policy.
So how do you get those characters now that they've turned it off?
You just got to play,
just
baby.
Unlock? Yeah. Which is fine.
Sorta, except that the pace that you unlock stuff is still pretty fucked.
Yes, you are correct.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, so this is kind of interesting. LucasArts did put out a statement to the Washington Post.
LucasArts?
Yeah. Lucasfilm.
Okay.
LucasArts
they're back.
Exist.
I was so excited.
No, I apologize.
That's okay.
Yeah, this whole podcast is going to be a series of your dreams getting crushed. Not you specifically, Adam.
Mostly Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce, basically.
I know, I really wanted this game. Go ahead.
I was bummed about it too, and I've been putting more time into it too, so I got all kinds of rants banked up about that fucking game. Whatever, we'll get into it. So this is Lucasfilm basically said, quote, Star Wars has always been about the fans, and whether it's Battlefront or any other Star Wars experience, they come first. The Lucasfilm spokesman told the Post on Friday, quote, that's why we support EA's decision to temporarily remove in-game payments and address fan concerns. So it's the most non-statement that's ever been stated.
Yep.
I like how they say they support their decision even though somebody got on the phone and was like, you had better fucking fix this!
I know.
Oh, what a good idea! You fixed it! Is essentially how it reads to me. So, now here we are. The internet's won. We did it, Reddit. We turned off microtransactions, except here's kind of how the situation is forming after that. So EA's fucked, right? We got him. Sorta. EA put out a statement to their investors saying that the removal of microtransactions, quote, is not expected to have a material impact on EA's fiscal year 2018 financial guidance. Okay, I still need to make a journalism stinger, so here's where the journalism happens. Yeah, this is it, Bruce. Are you excited?
I am so excited.
Yeah, buckle up, baby.
I am doing it.
The best way to spend a Monday/Wednesday, depending when people are listening to this. Okay, EA's fiscal year 2018 ends March 2018. It's confusing, but fiscal years are confusing. It's just a bunch of... I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, they're saying that basically until March, they don't expect that microtransactions or the variants thereof will have any impact on their revenues. They could also just be saying that so investors don't freak out.
Right.
EA had before projected that Battlefront 2 would sell 14 million units, which is the same amount of units that Battlefront 1 sold. So they're expecting equal performance on the units sold. They're probably expecting more revenue from the microtransaction model, which they just turned off, but will come back in some form. So that means one of two things to me, that either they expected long-tail microtransactions to give them more revenue, or they knew it was coming. They knew that revenue would be rocky, so they didn't depend on any microtransaction revenue in the meantime. They didn't actually factor it into their guidance. So either they're really smart and knew this was going to be a fuck up and like have plans A, B, and C all ready to go, or they didn't see it coming, but they don't care because they didn't figure that people would put a lot of money into microtrans in the first 3 months anyway. Their stock has taken a bit of a bump, but it's not as bad. Like, the company's not done. It went from like, what is this graph here? It's like 120 to 108. So a pretty sizable drop.
So buy stock now.
Yeah, actually, Bruce, yes, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And also, just in the long tail, like EA's stock has gone from like $13 a share in 2013 to 120 now.
Wow.
It's a similar rise to like Nintendo saw when they put out the Wii. And that's mostly due to the massive amounts of revenue they've been pulling out of digital with Ultimate Team and stuff like that. Here's the thing, though. Retail numbers are bad. They're very bad. This is via GamesIndustry.biz. Quote, Star Wars Battlefront 2's Week 1 box sales in the UK were significantly lower than anticipated. UK retailers told Games Industry last month that the new Star Wars game will sell more than Battlefield 1. However, first week sales are down 50% compared with last year's shooter.
Oh, shit.
The box sales figures are also down 61% compared with 2015's Star Wars Battlefront. Now you, like me, if you have a journalistic mind, like myself, you'd say, but wait, digital is on the rise, and retail sales are down. Therefore, it must all be evening out. But that's also not true. This is in the UK. Say that console sales are now 30 to 45% digital. And that was earlier in November.
So
this
it wouldn't
month.
make up the 50% difference.
It wouldn't make up the 60% difference.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's 50%
Oh, jeez.
compared to last year's banner shooter, 61% down compared to 2015 Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
So yeah, it doesn't make up the gap at all. The game, at least in the UK, because that's pretty much all I found numbers for, the game is not selling as well. So that's not cool. So what we're looking at is EA doesn't have a viable microtransaction model for Battlefront 2, and the boxed game is selling worse than Battlefront 1 did, which doesn't sound good for them or their revenues going into fiscal 2019. And that's the sort of thing that actually does start to shake a company a little bit. I'm not saying that they're done with, but a lot of people on the internet are hoping that this means Disney will retract the Star Wars license from them.
Well, so how long of so EA signed it was a 10-year deal?
It was 10 years,
And
and
they
I
signed
think
it,
it was
what, 4 years ago?
announced in 2013. So yeah, exactly 4 years ago. Let me make sure about that. I got a link in here somewhere.
So that means there's 6 more years of EA Star Wars games.
Unless Disney buys them out.
Well, that's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
They
So
pay
we-
them out of their contract. Yeah.
We don't know that they can even do that.
Yeah, we haven't seen the
The
contract.
terms of the contract were entirely non-disclosed, so we don't know how much
Right.
money EA paid for it. We don't know what the terms are. Theoretically, Disney could buy it back.
Disney's little insight, I guess, into how Disney makes its money. The two most profitable arms of Disney are licensing and parks.
Oh, yeah.
I believe parks have now surpassed licensing.
Really?
But I mean, they could exist in those two forms and be fine. They're like the rest of their movie industry would be okay. Like, it doesn't really matter. So, if my guess is, this is all speculation, if they were to do that deal, they would not do the Marvel fuck up, where they go, you got it for as long as you need it. They would go, we own this thing. You're licensing it from us. We can pull out if this, or this. Who knows? Disney's fucking crafty. They can do whatever they want. They own everything you've ever loved as a child.
Pretty much. And they're buying more things you loved as a child by the day.
So, Lawrence, my speculation on this was that Battlefront, the first one, while people played it, they kind of shit on it. They were like, it's not enough for, it's only multiplayer, so I paid $60, $70, whatever, for an only multiplayer game. So I think with EA, they went one of two ways, which was, or maybe they did a combination of both, which was they were worried about Battlefront 2. So then they decided to experiment with a bunch of weird microtransactions, like
Yeah.
you said, or I think they were like, well, we need these microtransactions because Battlefront 2 is not going to sell. Which was, yeah. And so for me, I actually thought Battlefront 2 would sell better.
Usually that's what sequels do.
Yeah, usually that's what sequels do. But I think they were worried because Battlefront 1 didn't do it nearly as well as they wanted it to.
Do you think you still have to wait for Last Jedi to come out, though, before you see the full
maybe.
numbers?
Well, sort of.
That's true.
The comparison of unit sales were to the same period. And that was when Force Awakens was coming out.
Oh, yeah.
That's when Star Wars was at, like, I guess the Star Wars fever was an all-time...
Right.
Well, I guess probably not all-time high. It was just that the hype was, like, very real. It's like Star Wars is back in two different ways.
People are expecting Last Jedi to not do as well as Force Awakens. So for you, if what you said is correct, probably. That the hype was the highest back when Battlefront came out and Force Awakens came out. So
because now we've had what Force Awakens, Rogue One. There's a Han Solo thing happening. There's 2 games have come out, so now maybe people are getting a little burned out.
maybe.
Are you burned out, Bruce?
I'm not burned out. I was really excited about this game until everybody started shitting on it. Literally everyone, and even Lawrence, like who really likes Star Wars.
Yeah, and single player games of pretty much any kind.
Yeah, and you were really looking forward to the single player. You're looking forward to the multiplayer. Like
I was.
And like Rahul, he's also a huge Star Wars Battlefront fan. He still plays the first one, and he just shit on Battlefront 2. So I was like, all of my friends are basically saying don't buy the game, even though nobody said that. I'm just like, well, why would I buy this game if everybody's shitting on it? So that's the way. I haven't bought it yet. I pre-ordered the other one. I pre-ordered Battlefront, but I'm staying away for now because it just sounds like a clusterfuck.
So did you beat the single player, Lawrence?
I got I think I've got 4 levels to go. Boy, it's not good. It's not good. I'm sorry if you worked on it and maybe you're hearing this. You probably did your best. But boy, that is not a good campaign. So the first 3 levels actually started pretty promising, and I'll get into some mild spoilers, but there's nothing worth spoiling. But hey, man, if the Battlefront 2 campaign has you salivating, great. I mean, I was excited.
I was excited too.
Sure, you get to play as the freaking what do you call it?
The Empire.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't call it the Remnant anymore, right?
Well, yeah, they're just called the Empire in the narrative because it's the events leading up to and immediately after Return of the Jedi.
You're post-Empire, Fall of the Empire, which I thought was a cool concept.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And theoretically could have been great, but it dips so much into safe Star Wars territory.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily fault the game for that, knowing how Lucas tends to operate. I'm sure that there was a stipulation very early on that this game can't really do anything interesting in the Star Wars universe. That stuff is kind of the realm of movies. Even the side stories can't do a whole lot. Even Rogue One was pretty good. It's
But
just not like them.
They have to hit the same note though, where it's like they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Well, and they can't also do anything like galactically significant. So it has to be this like tucked away story that is totally safe, and it does the thing that Star Wars games always do, where it bounces off of every major character, and they almost turn to the screen and like give you a thumbs up every time. Here's the setup. You play as Iden Versio, an Empire Special Forces character who is executing the wishes of the Empire. You're like on Endor when the Death Star 2 blows up, which is pretty cool. Like, these are all cool places to be. And then shortly thereafter, it takes you away from Iden Versio and starts dropping you into the hero characters. So you play as Luke, you play as Han, you play as Leia. But the manner in which it does that is so forced by narrative, and also crammed with references and lines from the films, that it's just like bordering on bad fan fiction
Every
territory.
time I hear someone say, I have a bad feeling about this, I want to die a little bit inside.
I know, it's true, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
They do that in Destiny too. I was playing it this weekend when they're doing double XP thing, and there's a part you go in this hole and goes, I've got a bad feeling. And I was like, shut the fuck up. It's been done to death. Stop it. No more Wilhelm screams.
Adam.
No more got a bad feeling about this.
Well, let me tell you, Adam, it gets worse.
Lawrence, I can tell you, I'll play super devil's advocate here.
Sure.
I know that like whenever I read Star Wars books or whatever, if I'm reading books about 4 or 5 brand new characters in the Star Wars universe, I want to kill myself.
Sure. Yeah,
because it doesn't matter to me. I don't care, and it doesn't has no effect on the Star Wars universe at large. But if I can read books that are either like kind of related to the main characters or are the main characters, I get super excited about it.
Okay.
And maybe that has worn off a little bit as I've gotten older, but when I was a kid, it was a huge deal.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. I'm coming at it from too harsh of an angle.
Well,
Harsher vibe.
I'm just guessing that's probably they've done audience research, and they're like, I want to know what Luke is doing, like,
But
not
they don't
I want to
tell
know
you.
what Iden Versio is doing.
So yeah, no, I get it. So here's the problem, sort of, is that even that's not executed with any amount of grace. You play as Iden Versio or whatever, and then it's like, meanwhile, Luke was there, and then Luke like just shows up and is like, I'm Luke Skywalker, but it's like a weird kind of sound lookalike because they don't have the rights to Mark Hamill's face. So then you just play as Luke, and then you run around on a planet, and he grabs like a trinket. He's like, oh, that's interesting, but that's it, and then his scene's done. Then it's like, okay, but what if Leia Organa? And then you play as Leia, and the broad beats of the story, somewhat spoilers, is that post the Emperor's death, apparently he programmed a cyborg to walk around and execute his posthumous will.
Oh, right.
Which is Operation Cinder, which from the very sound of it, yes, it's another planet-ending weapon. When Iden Versio perceives this weapon being used on an Empire-controlled planet, because the idea is that if we just demonstrate our power, the galaxy will fall in line. Yeah, the exact same plot that's happened in 2 movies. She suddenly has a change of heart because blowing up a planet full of innocent people wasn't enough, but innocent Empire people, that's too much. So then she's like, no longer.
That's it.
That's it, Bruce.
Well, you haven't got
she-
to the end yet, so we don't know yet.
Yeah, maybe there's something more to it, but she defects, and then it becomes a parade of
she
Star Wars
join-
characters you already know.
So she joins the rebels.
Yes.
Well, the way you were
course, I
describing
told you.
the way you're describing the single player mode, though, it sounded like they were repurposing multiplayer
It's
stuff.
100% repurposed multiplayer. So it's multiplayer maps and multiplayer characters
Yeah.
with the barest bones of actual gameplay. So it's protect this guy while he fiddles with a panel for a bit.
Right.
And you're like, okay, now go do it over there.
Capture his flag. What?
Now run over there. shoot everybody.
Flag.
That doesn't sound like a single player experience. That sounds like a multiplayer game that they were like, well, we don't want to get yelled at again, so we'll do the
Absolutely.
bare minimum.
I had a really morbid thought when you said Leia's in it. With like, and we got Carrie Fisher to do it, and it's a dude in the hospital room where doctors are operating on her.
Oh, no.
And it's like, all right, and go. She's like, beep. And he's like, go.
Just read the line. Just read the line, Carrie.
Some dice developer being like, I'm so sorry. I'm so, we got
Just
you.
needed to say the Death Star's
Yeah.
here.
It's like a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode.
I see the shot, all the family upset, crying, and then there's these guys like with a boom mic on. We got it. You fucking monsters.
You can hear the cardiogram in the background.
Anyway, sorry, I wanted to get that out of the way.
No. Thank you for going there. It's hard and as brutal as you could. So yeah, single player is kind of disappointing. And then there's co-op, which is not even a thing, man. So there's no online. You have to play split screen. And then the second player doesn't get to sign in. So for a game that's so neurotically obsessed about progression and crystals and credits and cards, second player doesn't get shit.
Really?
Also, first player, after about 5 levels, they cap you on the amount of credits you can earn in single player. So they push you into online.
Well, because they wanted you to spend money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That came up during their AMA that they did on Reddit, and people saw right through that. There was
Yeah.
like, they
brought
said
that
that line.
up?
They're like, yeah, we capped it off because
Yeah.
we didn't want people to.
I got the quote.
Oh yeah.
Here.
It's so. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to deflect, but it comes off as so bad.
No, it's 100% disingenuous. So, quote, as we want to let players earn credits offline via more relaxed game mode, we needed to also find a way to make sure it wouldn't be exploited in a way that would impact multiplayer. Because of that, we made the decision to limit the number of credits earned to stop potential abuse.
They want more money.
We'll be looking at data continually and making adjustments to make things as balanced as possible.
No, you're not.
But you can throw money at the game.
Yeah.
I'm not this narrow-minded normally, but it sounds to me like there's either one person or a group of people, like 3 or 4 people at EA, that was like, we are going to try this so fucking hard that we're going to, like, basically it's like, if the audience doesn't like it, fuck them until they yell too much.
Let's burn it to the ground.
And I think that's what it sounds like to me, because you're getting the worst possible response from the internet, and then finally someone's like, okay, all right, we apologize. We're sorry. But I think along the way, they're like, fuck them. We're gonna try and figure out how to fuck these people so hard. And that makes me really upset
then there
because
was
it's a Star Wars game.
Well, then there's the fake death threat.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah,
The account
that's
that
right.
Did you
is
catch
probably not an EA developer.
yeah.
So
that was weird.
So there was that developer. I'm going to go ahead and this is a wild speculation. I'm going to go out there and say at somewhere on the internet, people were tossing death threats.
Yeah.
somewhere
sure,
on
yeah,
the
of course.
internet.
Sure.
So while that one may have been faked,
it's a daily occurrence.
I feel like
happens a lot.
it may not have been too out of line to assume that it was true.
Yeah,
That's true.
I agree. Certainly that thing happens in video games culture. But I think there was like also loads of disinformation going around, like DICE was like the one running the account, but they wanted it spoofed or what. That shit got into weird InfoWars territory pretty quick.
Yeah.
Which is, man, it's crazy. Once something becomes the focal point of the internet, just the explosion of fake news and like conspiracy theories and everything is great. But yeah, Bruce, to your point, I do kind of read that in between the lines too, that EA knew this was going to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
And didn't care.
Yeah.
Because they were like, it's the first mover kind of thing. It's like, why would we wait for Activision to try something like this and get all the money when we've got the Star Wars brand? People have to come to us for it.
Yep.
let's push our luck now. And you know, what's the big deal?
Do you think they're devoid of any feeling, and there's a chart that says like negative feedback versus sales, and they're like, all right, we have reached maximum negative feedback. It is now heard. It's just like a robot talking to you.
I think that's absolutely what happened.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that there is like some quantifiable negativity they had, and they're like, okay, all right, never mind, we won't do that.
Well, I bet
truth-
the developers are feeling something. But
The sad truth is that 90% of the time, that's how you get rich.
You push it
Sure.
as far as you
You're
absolutely
just like, you're like, well, let's see,
Yep.
you know, and you keep going.
can.
I
Morality has
do
no
feel bad
place.
for the developers, though, Lawrence. To your point, because they made a beautiful game, and it seems to play very, very well.
It is gorgeous. I mean, even Battlefront 1 had that. It is the best looking Star Wars thing
Yeah.
that exists. I mean, it's apart from the movies, but
Yeah, absolutely.
geez, it's absurd how pretty it is. But you know what else is pretty? A nice movement watch. Yeah, that one was a bit of whiplash.
I love my
transition, but
watch.
There you go.
Nice.
Well, we
Not
can't-
yet,
that's
though.
cross
Oh,
promoting.
sorry.
So guys, we're coming up on the holidays. Gift giving can be hard. You know, it's easy. A watch. Buy a watch for people. Like I have no idea what to get my dad. I'm gonna get him a watch. I mean, he'll probably hate that. Like he hates everything else. Dad.
Oh boy.
I know,
Oh
like
geez.
bad-
He might like it,
bad
Lawrence.
read.
You never know.
He might. No, it's a great gift idea for the person who's hard to buy a gift for. And what says class? Like a nice watch. And you can get a nice discount, 15% off, free shipping, free return. So even if you buy that watch and somebody doesn't end up liking it, like my dad,
All right, he may like it.
you can just send it right back and then say fine. You don't get anything, grateful bastard.
Okay.
That's me, I
Call
guess.
your dad that.
You're not a
let's
bastard.
do that.
I guess I'm not theoretically,
Definitely not.
He's like, darn.
100% he's not.
but there's a variety of
Yeah, I know.
There's a variety of styles and options to choose from. They got them all listed on the website. You can even sort by like the style you want, the style of watch face and stuff. So it's pretty easy. If you have an idea of someone's style, to find something that matches them pretty quickly. And like I said, that 15% discount, you don't have to tell them about that. That's money in your pocket. So thank you, Movement, for the sponsorship. Please keep them in mind if you're doing your holiday shopping. You can't decide what to get somebody. A quality timepiece, says class, not only for the recipient, but also the giftee. You don't want to be giving somebody a dumb stuffed animal. No, they want to watch. So yeah, movement.com, that's mvmt.com/dudesoup, all one word, for your 15% off. Thank you, Movement.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's the way this is. I guess where my mind goes now is, okay, what are the possible outcomes? The internet wants, at this point, the internet wants EA to lose the license, and yeah, Adam, like you had mentioned earlier, I think that's entirely dependent on a licensing deal that we've never seen. So I don't know. Do you guys think that's feasible or not? Do you think it's viable?
I think the concern should more be about the fact that EA is a representation of the industry as a whole. If a different company got the license, you might not see something with a property so valuable and so important. You might not see that much of a difference because EA isn't the only company that does this. They just seem to be the worst about disguising the middle finger. You know. So I don't know.
My fear, because Disney doesn't really make games anymore. They've shut like their whole digital side down. My fear is that we won't see any AAA Star Wars stuff. AAA meaning something that's a real video game, not something you just play on your phone. But this might make Disney go, let's just keep it to match 3s and Clash of the Clan knockoffs, and because that's safe, and then they're not going to get any bad PR, and that's where it will live and die.
Just give the license to Rockstar. Rockstar knows, they know how to make amazing games, and they also know how to monetize them.
Yeah, but they also don't want to work for
They might
anybody.
not want to do it.
No, they might not.
Well,
The problem is
But-
it's a rich battle, you know.
Well, that's the thing, is that like EA, they do make great games. I've always liked EA games, and I have for years. But when they monetize them, like James just said, they're really bad at hiding their middle finger. So they're always kind of looking to fuck you, and everybody sort of knows it. Whereas Rockstar, they really know what they're doing, especially when they're monetizing, like with GTA Online. It's a great example. I don't know if people bitch about it, but I don't think they feel nearly the same passion that they do for like Battlefront 2 and stuff. So I would love to see that if it went to Rockstar.
So that's an interesting idea. I'm trying to think. So Rockstar did the Warriors. I'm trying to think of licensed things they've done.
Not much.
Yeah, they seem like the kind of company who'd rather just make their own IP.
Yeah, they would. I mean, like, and that's the hard part.
Yeah.
I think that's why EA, again, I would always say that's about the Fox television network versus like ABC, NBC, and CBS, is that Fox was willing to take chances. So I would watch crazy shows on Fox like Firefly and Arrested Development. Those are shows that would never have gotten greenlit on any other network. They did get canceled eventually, but at least they were on.
Fastlane.
And I think I think EA is a good example of a game company that's willing to try stuff, but they're also trying to monetize it. So they're willing to try Star Wars games and make them really good, but they're also out there being like, you know what, fuck it, never mind. This totally fucked it all up. The monetization, we didn't know what we were doing. So they may just be like, never mind, we're not going to do Star Wars anymore. That worries me because I liked EA's Star Wars games. I thought that was.
Did you
cool.
think my theory is that the deal I think we talked about this last week, but the deal they made with Disney was so not in their favor. They have to make so much of a profit in order to make any money back because of how much Disney gets from it.
I bet you're right.
That's just my thought. And then so they said,
Yeah.
we have to put these things in there because we're already losing so much money at retail, at this, at that. We have to find a way that we can monetize it and make money back. Otherwise, we can't make a Star Wars game. Otherwise, we're creating this game at a loss.
Yeah, I think you're probably
Which
right.
I'm not going to sit there and go, boo-hoo, I'm so sad for business. But at the same time, I do want it. I want someone to do a nice reskin of Battlefield with, Star Wars.
Yep.
Big battles, cool. And then have someone make a cool bounty hunter or Jedi game. There's stuff you can do, but I'm wondering if Disney's too much of the gatekeeper.
That's the thing that was happening, but it got shelved because EA saw Battlefront sell as much as it did. So EA's looking at Battlefront sales numbers on one screen and Uncharted sales numbers on the other. They're going, why would we ever make that with this license when we can throw all of our resources at this, and then also get the extended revenue that we get from stuff like Ultimate Team and shit like that.
The more we talk about this, Lawrence, the more I'm like, I wonder if they had planned this microtransaction stuff for the first Battlefront, and they didn't want to sour everybody on that property. So they were like, we'll just save it for the next one because they thought that the next one would sell more.
Maybe.
And so then they were like, well, we'll have a little more leeway with the audience, and then we can try our crazy microtransaction experiments on Battlefront 2. I don't know.
Well, that game was also, whatever they said, it was rushed.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a single player component. They were trying to get it out before Force Awakens, even though they said, no, that's not the plan. And, there's a chart that said December, have it out by now to maximize sales.
Battlefront 2 feels really rushed too.
Really?
There's like
man.
some graphical glitches. The like single player campaign just being multiplayer assets sort of hastily reconstituted into levels. The co-op not having online, not having 2-player support. The co-op also, by the way, is just multiplayer levels with bots. That's it. And they'll throw some spice on it, be like, oh, you don't have any abilities now. And it's just, the funny thing is, it really shows just kind of how simple of a game Battlefront is, because once you start taking things away from it, it stops being a game entirely.
Oh, man.
There was like a co-op challenge. It's like, you're Darth Maul, fight some droids, except you don't have any abilities. And it's just you standing there with these like droids marching at you, shooting you constantly. And the only way to win, because you have regenerating health, is you just like hide around a corner and like bop one and then hide.
Fun.
Bop one and then hide. Yeah, it's not a game. It's like, if somebody play tested it, they didn't spend very long or didn't have much time to really do anything.
I guess that's Star Wars' best and worst asset, right? It's lore. Because I'm sure now they have like, the lore master. What a cool title. Get all sorts of laid.
I want to be Star Wars lore master.
No, you don't.
You can do it.
Holy shit.
But I'm sure, I think we were talking about this last week. We were saying like, if they wanted to sell like a cool samurai Darth Vader skin, it would take 6 months
Yeah.
for someone at Disney to go, we can't do that, or okay, George says it's cool. And like, so I get it, they're protective of it, and that's cool. It's good lore, and it's good stuff. It's a good universe to own. But when you're that protective of it, you can't make anything cool. Or it's just going to take a long time.
Yeah, I mean, and they probably don't see it that way. They probably see Star Wars, since they've been so protective of it, that's why it's so popular.
Absolutely.
Is like they're like, well, no, like it's been successful for this many years, so we should have more of a stranglehold on it. I don't know.
Choke it out.
Kill it.
So Adam, you mentioned it's I agree with the evaluation that like EA probably paid so much for the Star Wars license that they have no other option. They need Ultimate Team style revenues to justify the money they spent on it. There is an analyst, Evan Wingren, who works for KeyBank Capital Markets. He decided that these gamers are just too spoiled and that Battlefront is good. Yeah, here we go. So the analyst estimated cost per hour. Yeah, this is a $1 1 hour thing. Spoil if you're out there. This is
Spoiler
everything
with
you've
this?
ever believed. He said if a gamer spent $60 for the game, an additional $20 per month for loot microtransaction boxes, and played around 2.5 hours a day for 1 year, it comes out to roughly 40 cents per hour of entertainment. This compares to an estimated 60 to 65 cents per hour for pay television, 80 cents per hour for movie rental, more than $3 per hour for a movie watched in the theaters. Quote, if you take a step back and look at the data, I'm using that voice on purpose, an hour of video game content is still one of the cheapest forms of entertainment, he wrote. Qualitative analysis shows that video game publishers are actually charging gamers at a relatively inexpensive rate, and should probably raise prices. Now that I don't disagree with, except when they fuck you both ways.
I was gonna say, we've been saying that for years, that video games are the cheaper way of entertainment.
Yeah. I think the solution for something like Battlefront, and this shit was already around. Mobile games have been like this for years. If you pay money, you get the content. If you get it for free, you have to grind the content. Or they prod you into microtransactions. So let's say theoretically, and I'm curious what you guys think about this. Let's say there's a $60 version of the game that's laced out with microtransactions. It's garbage. You don't get anything. You got to grind, unlock everything. Let's say there's a $90 version of the game that has everything. Unlocked. You get every skin, every character. Which one would you guys prefer to play, and are you even okay with that? Or do you want everything to stay 60? Which already it isn't, by the way.
Shit, if it's Battlefront, I'm paying $90. Like if it's Star Wars, I'm like I gotta do it.
So, sir, it's only 60. Here's like giving us money.
Here's the closest example I can think of. Dragon Ball FighterZ is coming out in January, right? And it's gonna have characters you can play as. It's fighting games, so it's a little bit different. But in some ways, the characters are more important to the game. And they are, like, as soon as the game was announced and you could buy it, they were like, for $60, you get the game. If you want to pay I think it's $85 or something, you get the game plus the 8 characters we're going to release for Season 1 as the DLC. It's just, like, basically a season pass, right? And I was like, boom, $85.
Yeah.
I was like, yep, I want them. I don't even want to have to think about how I'd acquire them any other way. I will absolutely take it because I'm in on this game. Same with Street Fighter. Like, their pricing scheme is a little weird where they're like, we're going to release 4 characters over the course of the next year. And you can get them all for $120. Like, it's sometimes wonky.
Also, they'll sometimes just ship on the disc and they lock them out, right?
That was an old thing,
Yeah. Which was people were like,
You were mad about
why would
that.
you do that?
But still, so yeah, I would totally play, or I would totally pay to just know that the characters that I want to play are in the game.
That's because you like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And it's the same with me. That's why I like Star Wars, so I'll absolutely pay it.
Yeah.
No problem.
The way that people react to this reminds me a lot of how people react to Hulu. So, to even break down the sort of transitions. So you had TV, it sucked, but it was there and it was free and it was paid for by ads. You're like, okay, whatever. And then TiVo came along, and you can pay money to skip ads. So you're opting into a more premium experience.
Well, even Hulu Plus or whatever. Yeah.
Right. So then Hulu comes along and they're like, guess what? You get to pay money and watch ads. And people are like, fuck that. Why would I ever? Like, you've already, there's a product on the market that already has a better situation. Now, Hulu did come along with, okay, pay like $2 more a month and be ad free. But they already have this perception of like, why would I get fucked by you and pay money to be advertised to when I've already had a better experience? I feel like Battlefront 2 is trying to pretend that like mobile games never existed and that better content strategies never existed on console.
Only matches green.
Yeah, it only matches green.
This is match 3. I want to kill myself.
So,
James loves it.
I'm playing Battle Chef Brigade, which is
Yeah.
a combo match 3 Iron Chef alike, but also an open world action RPG Metroidvania.
I like the idea of it. I don't like playing it.
Yeah, well, so you got thrown in. You didn't get to see the tutorials. Like, it would have made more sense if you saw, because I read the text that said the green pot only matches green, but
Yeah.
only 2, so you don't need 3.
By the way, throwing this out there, a game like this, you just pay money for it and you have it.
Yeah.
So the landscape is not so bleak with gaming, but potentially with, like we said or hinted at last week, with big AAA franchises, maybe those are becoming something weird. So maybe if you want the pure game experience, you might want to stick in the indie $20 to $30 range.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. Original IP is sort of the way to go. It's obviously the one thing I keep talking about is Destiny, because I've just been on the Destiny kick. But going through that, I'm like, I like that they're building their own world. They built their own lore. These are the guys who invented Halo, and they've gotten so far away from Halo, and they built their own thing. Like, I wonder if there was a meeting where someone at Microsoft had their arms crossed, say, "Fine, leave. What are you gonna make?" And they're like, one of the biggest game worlds ever, and they're like, the fact that like every gun has a name and all this weird stuff, like it like surpasses Borderlands in a lot of ways. But I'm always blown away when you're playing the game. You're like, you have somehow combined fantasy and sci-fi into a thing, and it's its own, and you don't ever have to call Disney and go, is it okay if we do X, Y, or Z? So like maybe we as a society are just burned out on licensed content. Maybe there is a hunger for something new. And is that good or bad?
Well, yeah.
I say good.
I think it's good too. I mean,
I think every sales number ever would disagree with you, though.
might.
I mean, like
I'm saying though
movies.
creatively. I get it. People
Well.
obviously want the same thing because it's familiar and it's safe.
How'd Titanfall 2 do?
I don't know.
I mean, so that's
Well
a game
enough that EA bought them.
That's true. I mean, and it did have a great campaign, a little short, but still very good, much better than Battlefront's. And the
Oh yeah,
the
no, dude,
multiplayer was great.
We say that all the time. Titanfall 2 single player was one of the best in recent memory. I put it up there with like Wolfenstein. Like their single player was top notch. Please play it.
Absolutely, please play it. Worth your money, especially if stuff like Battlefront 2's monetization gets you down. If you want to make a force for change in the games market or whatever,
Nice.
Throw your money at a
Don't they do that for like sick kids?
Yeah, they do. It's a charity.
This
Star
is
Wars
just
charity.
as important.
I could see that. There's a part in Titanfall 2 where you wall ride, like running up a wall, which doesn't exist in games anymore. And then I threw an exploding ninja star at a group of dudes, and then jumped inside a giant robot and stepped on dudes. And I was
sounded
like,
awesome.
I was like, this is fucking Power Fantasy 101.
Yeah.
They did it.
Well-
And I feel like not a lot of people played it, unfortunately.
Yeah. We can offer our readers a different kind of fantasy, a holiday fantasy with Tipsy Elves fashion. Tipsy Elves, man, they sell the coolest stuff on the planet. I got some like polarized wraparound shades that unfortunately haven't arrived yet. But when they do, you will see me in nothing else for months and months, so get used to that. James is wearing his holiday fashions, a donkey sweater with some
Hey
plaid.
kids, it's me, Donkey.
There he is. There he is, Donkey himself. Hey, Donkey, how you doing?
Who are you?
Oh, Bruce has a
Nice, Bruce.
Jesus.
got
Look
a
at you.
a baby Bjorn of Jesus on his
I've got pants on my chest.
Adam has pants on his chest. Yes, had him in the wheelchair today,
It's very comfortable.
spreading wheelchair awareness. But as a result, couldn't put the pants on his legs because
These are Elise's.
no. Well, yes, he's also. I was gonna say you were
You guys,
Daniel.
you guys
Day-Lewis
ordered
again.
this stuff when I was out of the office.
Yeah.
so I never
Hey, you're
got
on
it.
vacation. Well, it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's
I
not
was-
like you were just gone. We said now's the time.
I'm visiting Santa.
So yeah, Tipsy Elves for all of your fine holiday fashions and then some. They also have like beachwear. They have ski suits. They have.
I didn't know that.
They have like American flag print formal wear. Whatever you need, they've got it. Provided you need something loud and abrasive, and beautiful.
Ugly sweater
let's see here.
parties are a big thing now.
They are.
I don't know what made them be a big thing, but they are.
That's
Oh.
the reason I bought this.
They even have interactive sweaters. There's a beer pong sweater that has a bunch of like cups on it.
It's awesome. I almost got that one.
bounce cups into people.
Almost got that
You'll
one.
be the coolest guy at the party.
You ladies can look at their holiday leggings, sweater dresses, and cozy adult onesies, all with the best and most millennial patterns. So you can get 20% off your Tipsy Elves items by going to tipsyelves.com and using our code DUDESOUP at checkout. It's just a flat 20% off by using our code. So you should go check it out, man. It's some intense stuff, and if you want to be the life of any Thanksgiving or holiday party, that's a good way to do it. Nothing announces that the party has arrived like a donkey sweater.
Hey y'all,
Looking good.
it's me, Donkey.
I don't know what Shrek has to do with Christmas.
What? He loves Christmas.
I know what Jesus has to do with
Every
Christmas, but I don't know about
Shrek
Shrek.
film was about Christmas, like Shane Black says.
Once more, that's tipsyelves.com, and then use our code DUDESOUP at checkout for 20% off. Thank you for the sponsorship, Tipsy Elves. And so I'm learning. I'm episode 149. I'm starting to figure out this podcast game a little bit. And if there's one thing I know that people love, it's segments. Segments, yes.
They said smegma.
No. So I found something on the internet, and I'm going to make Bruce read it. A
All
segment
right, I like
call
this part.
Bruce reads.
Oh, you have a little header?
Yeah, I do.
You just bought some stock footage.
Nice.
I did. I put some music on it too. You can't hear that, but I promise
Cool.
it's there. All right, Bruce, here's a forum post for you. If you feel like it, you can skip this middle paragraph. There's a lot of vulva.
Holy,
action
there's a
in there.
lot here. All right, okay. All right, here we go. So what's the context of this, Lawrence?
This is on a. Well, I think the context will become apparent. The one thing I want to make clear is there is a name there, TWI.
Mm-hmm.
That's Twi. It's short for Twilight. Just so you know.
Oh, Twilight the Pony.
Twilight Sparkle. Yeah, the pony.
Twilight Sparkle. Okay. Today has been a pretty good day for us. Over breakfast, I downloaded and played through the first chapter in Moon Chronicles on the 3DS and had a ton of fun with it. So much that I shelled out $9.50 to download the remaining 3 chapters. Then, after that, Twy and I had a 3-hour-long pet play session during which we each came twice. That's just the beginning.
Okay.
She was in an extra subby mood today and said that she wanted to be my little rut toy and would do any naughty thing I wanted to please her master. So I told her to be a good pet and lick her master's ass clean and tell him how much she loved being his little butt-licking plot cleaner. What the
Keep going.
Of course.
I'm getting hard.
Of course, I was completely clean beforehand, a little sweaty and smelly, but clean. Since Twy doesn't like scat. But she really got into it and before long was asking me to tell her, "What is your tongue good for, my little pet pony?" To which she would cheerfully reply, "Cleaning your dirty human butt, master."
Oh, nice.
What resulted was her giving me the most passionate and incredibly enthusiastic rim job that I have ever had in my entire life while I laid back and told her over and over what a good pet she was, to the point that my stomach had a small lake of pre-cum dribbled onto it by the time she was finished. So you want me to skip this other...
I mean...
More of a pawn, not a lake.
I'll just scan it.
Okay, yeah.
That led to her climbing on top and riding me while I talked dirty over her favorite thing, cummed in, questions like, what is the purpose of your vulva, my cute little plot cleaning rut toy, gently tugging on the leash, for you to come in, my master, vulva's yours to rut and come in anytime. What does rut mean?
Maybe it's a horse term.
Do you want as many times as you want? So I filled my adorable pet pony with all the cum I could give her. Long cuddle kissing session.
Reading it like a grocery list.
Focus on licking my feet, sucking my toes. All right, here we go. So here's the last
Here's
bit.
the good stuff.
It's got a full circle.
After the pet play lovemaking, we spent most of the rest of the day cuddling in bed, snacking, and relaxing together.
That's nice.
Beautiful.
Twy watched some documentaries on Netflix. I played a ton of Ironfall Invasion on a 3DS. And eventually we got around to cleaning up from our morning loving. All the fur around Twy's nose and mouth smelled very strongly like my backside, and was even a little dirty here and there. I was clean on the outside. Oh, I'm sorry, this is in parentheses. I was clean on the outside, but she was very enthusiastic with her rimming and forced her tongue as deep into me as she could, which did end up tinting the fur around her muzzle slightly brown.
That's a shame.
So we ended up, that was closed parentheses right there.
Okay.
So we ended up having to give her fur a good scrubbing with a 50-50 mix of natural unscented laundry detergent and warm water to get it clean and odor-free. Then a good 4 or 5 rinsings to get all the soap out. She's clean and dry now though, and just laying back in bed relaxing while I smoke a couple cigarettes and type this. So yeah, it's been a good day.
Sounds like you had a good weekend, Bruce.
I had a great weekend. I dyed my fur brown with the poop of my lover.
So was that the... So that was a story that someone wrote, or is that a guy shoving a stuffed animal up his own ass?
Little column A, little column B.
Probably both.
I don't understand why you're excluding a third option wherein Twilight Sparkle is real and anthropomorphic and speaks English and also ate his asshole.
Oh, I think
And can play video games.
Yeah.
said
Well, she was watching documentaries.
Oh, that's right.
He was playing Moon Patrol on his 3DS or whatever.
Ironfall Invasion.
Sorry.
Man, it's the details that matter
Smoking
in
some
a
cigarettes.
story like that.
Ironfall, looking at my pretty horse.
It's world
I
building.
love fan fiction so fucking much.
Man,
It's so great.
well, that was cool.
That was
Yeah.
really cool.
I'm glad that happened.
That sounds like a perfect day.
And it was a perfect day.
And somehow that's not hard netting. That's coming up.
Man, you should share that story with like the creator of My Little Pony.
Well, I'm sure that,
They
that
know.
person
Yeah.
knows
They
all
absolutely
about
know.
it.
This is what you made.
Would you be proud?
Yes.
Okay. Like
It's what we do here.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
true.
not. The My Little Pony stuff's supposed to be pure. Like
That's what every
it's for-
single joke I make is meant to be a pure joke.
Well, I'm just saying it's children.
Chair.
You're in a wheelchair.
Yeah. It's for the kids.
A wheelchair, by the way, that we had to buy after already filming a wheelchair segment
Buying another
because we
wheelchair.
felt that wheelchair wasn't funny enough.
Compared to the year 2016, Funhaus in 2017 has 200% more wheelchair.
That's true. You're right. Wow.
We're gonna do that at our indexing at the end of the year.
That's a good increase of wheelchair.
Yeah, that's a pretty good wheelchair ratio.
Oh, dragon
But
meat is the secret ingredient.
It just blows my mind that there was this thing
Battleship.
that was supposed to be a kids cartoon, like anything, and then
I want to fuck it.
a large group of people got together and they're like, it's sort of like there's this documentary, I remember, about pedophiles,
Oh,
and There was a group of them that
think
showed
I've
up
seen
to they showed up to a gay pride rally, and all the gay pride guys were like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And they were just kind of in the corner, sheepishly, like, "Thanks for having us." Like, "No, you do not represent us. Get out!" And they're like, "But we like you." Just like, so I get it. There's probably guys who are like, they show up to BronyCon or whatever, and they're like, "Don't we all like to fuck the ponies?" Like,
I mean, pretty much they do.
and some guys like, "No, bro, fuck off. I think they have a good message. Maybe they fuck."
Maybe sometimes.
Sometimes it's cool, but like that's their decision as a empowered female pony.
I just want to make it clear I'm not laughing at.
No.
Yeah, I'm too weird, man. I'm into my own stuff, so I'm no man to judge. I just I wanna. Man,
I just said it sounded like the perfect day.
yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I did.
I think it's pretty weird.
Smoking
I
cigarettes.
mean, I think it's super fucking weird.
See
But
that tongue?
But hey, if somebody if that's their outlet, then who cares? You know what?
Sure.
That's awesome.
As long as it's not hurting anyone else. it's fun to observe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that someone was.
Yeah, I guess Rooster Teeth has Ruby, and there are definitely dudes who want to fuck Ruby,
Well, yeah.
and everyone in Ruby.
yeah.
Yeah, that does happen. All right.
Of course it does.
No, of course, yeah. You put anything in the world and it will be sexualized. That's the whole premise of Rule 34.
We did Sex Swing.
Well,
I've seen those boys in all kinds of compromising positions.
That's true.
Very little Max. I wonder why.
He's the watcher.
What you gonna do?
He's the one drawing it.
He watches the bandman. All right, let's net hard. So Marble Olympics still just
going?
king, gold medal.
I haven't been on like 2 weeks. That's great.
Yeah, and that's gonna go up against. I should maybe a bit of a warning. I don't know what sort of issues this video may trigger, but it's a little intense. I can say that. So, James, I'm gonna have to interrupt.
but I'm in the middle of my dragon meat.
You are. I'm sorry.
What a game.
Yeah,
I knew James would like it. That's why I handed it off after
That's a
5
fun
minutes.
game.
I knew
James had to go harvest dragon meat to
Yep.
win a cooking competition. All right, so let me pull up the Marble Olympics
I
here.
gotta clean the poop out of my mustache
Yeah,
with a
you
50-50 mix of laundry detergent and warm water.
I think that's the thing that fascinates me about that is the needless attention to certain details. Certain details, such as the 3DS game being
Like
played.
I bought the DLC because the game was so good.
yeah, yeah. That does sound like
It's
a
like
good
an
day.
ain't it cool review.
But that detail is about equal to I threw my ankles up around my ears and had a pony eat me out for hours.
I mean, that is not a detail. That's a necessary
That's a plot point.
aspect
Yeah,
of
that's
it.
a plot
You know?
point.
Of all the rim jobs I ever had, that was by far the best.
Fair enough.
Also, my 3DS was low on charge. How?
So this is let me unmute the Elgato here. Got to get that audio
Yes.
coming through.
Oh,
So this is
excited.
a video. Listen, it's tired watching pale white kids dance to industrial in a overpass. What's wired is when they do it at a funeral. So
This is, I mean, like,
is this a flash mob?
I'm betting that this was something that the deceased wanted. I
think so.
think that's what it is.
I think they're sending their techno bro off to the afterlife.
And see, like, there's police there.
Huh.
I'm
They all look like Cyrax and Sector.
I'm pretty sure that this is what they wanted.
Yeah, no, I mean people would be like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah.
If it wasn't
Hold on,
desired.
before can you look at what's the green screen thing there?
This?
Yeah.
Oh, that's from Jurassic World.
Oh, that's when Chris
With
Pratt
movies without
yeah.
visual effects.
trains the.
Last minute entry.
So this is an entire channel of.
No, it's not.
Oh, this is a
one
one-off.
video?
This channel has no videos, and this is an unlisted video.
Oh.
So who the fuck knows where this came from or what it's of?
Ooh,
They are
creepy
playing
pasta.
to the internet's strengths.
Yeah, but I don't think they
Your
meant to.
ability to remain anonymous.
They are in sync.
I mean, honestly, like, it's a really good dance. And there's some people dancing like they're enjoying it when they're filming it. There's a lot of people filming it.
But there's some people that are very distraught in the background as well.
There are lots of crying.
So-
There is crying.
What would you rather? So you have a son, right? You have a son.
Uh-huh.
He grows to be about 17, right? Not fully a man. 17 years old, and he passes away, unfortunately. A heart cardiac condition, right?
Uh-huh.
Dies suddenly. You lose your son. In verifiable documents, you see that this is what he asked for at his funeral.
Uh-huh.
Would you prefer that to your son having a normal funeral, but you find him having jerked himself off while hanging himself? So he died of autoerotic asphyxiation.
But he wants this.
No. But he wants a normal funeral.
Oh,
Or
I
what
see.
appeared to be a normal son his whole life.
I want
This is
this.
the funeral.
I want this all the way.
Yeah.
Because they died normally, like they died of a freak accident.
Yeah.
And then they get this. This sends him off to the greatest of afterlife.
But this is something where, like, I feel like you just end up with the same number of questions.
I mean, yeah,
that
absolutely.
you would have had.
I don't think there's any question. I think if I went to this funeral and I saw these people doing this, I'd be like, the deceased wanted to be danced into heaven.
From guys that look like Mad Max extras.
Possibly their best friends.
You know what? To be fair, Bruce kind of has a point. This isn't too far off from what people would do like hundreds of years ago. This is just a more modern version because
100%.
we have advances in technology like techno music.
Okay, but presuppose for a minute that your son that's passed away is not someone.
Yeah.
And so dancing around his casket as it descends is not necessarily culturally on point. This has got to be Florida,
maybe,
right?
Well, yeah, it's definitely
Well,
Florida.
it said Policia on their uniforms.
Oh, maybe it's Cuba.
So it might be
Absolutely Florida.
It's a Latino country.
I guess maybe I would compromise and I would say you can do the dance, but not when the body's 3 seconds from going into the ground. I know that was her son's wish, but a lot of his family's here. Like his grandma's got dementia. She doesn't really understand what's going on.
Might frighten her.
Yeah, she has. If you look like a Mortal Kombat character from 1998, she's gonna freak out.
This was obviously planned though. They wanted this to happen right before the casket was closed and it was
They're
lowered
in sync.
down.
They're absolutely in sync.
They wanted it right then in the ceremony. I love it. I think it's great.
Well, did they want it or did the deceased want it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the deceased wanted it.
Well, what happens if maybe the deceased? Let's say here's another scenario.
Okay.
Let's say your 17-year-old son died of a freak accident, but the mom knew that all of their friends, like all they would do is rave all the time, and so the mom knew that that's what he loved. So she was like, "Friends, can you come and dance him into the afterlife?" What would that be okay with you?
I mean, neither scenario is okay with me.
Which one's better?
Well,
I guess at least the mom knowing, then I can go, okay, so our son, this is what our son does. This is what he wanted.
Yeah.
Yes, this is
Bruce
what he
is
wanted.
pulling the curtain back, actually, and I like this because now we're starting to ask the bigger question: who are funerals really for?
Oh, good point.
Are they for the deceased? Or are they for everyone else?
It should be for who's left behind.
Yeah,
It's well, sort of like it's some comedian did a bit on this, but it's like anytime there's a tragedy and someone's like, "My thoughts and prayers go out there." It's someone saying, "Look at me,"
Yeah.
and it's like, so maybe it doesn't matter what the deceased wanted; it's what I want because I'm still standing.
So maybe the mom is a huge raver, and the son was just a normal kid. Did you ever think about that?
Jeez.
I don't know. Maybe
It's possible. Hey, everything's possible.
I'm sure there's some ancient cultures that would dance their dead into
absolutely.
heaven, and they would dance for
100%.
days on end and be like,
100%.
the harder I dance and the worse I feel, the better they'll
Yes,
be.
yes.
And somewhat, but I mean, they would lose their shit if they had techno. Because it keeps you going.
Yeah.
There's that beat, and then you just pop a couple reds, and
Yeah.
you can go for like 3 days.
Yeah. 500 years of culturally motivated music and dance versus techno.
I would argue that
Which,
it was building up to techno.
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the deliberations have happened. You guys, I think, have probed every corner of
Man.
this issue, much like Twi's light or tongue can probe every corner of that man's asshole.
He's doing like a,
Yeah, there's a lot
like a
of
Spider-Man thwip.
Yeah, it's like that way and then that way. Okay, so who's netting harder, the Marble Olympics or a bunch of dudes who industrial rave at their friend's funeral?
We assume or maybe they just get hired for this. It's like a clown at a birthday party.
Sure.
I'm voting for the funeral only because I want to know what happened. I want
Okay.
somebody to do some investigative journalism on this,
Okay.
and I want to figure out the story behind it.
All right. James,
I'll let James go.
Yeah, where does your vote lie?
I mean, Marble Olympics is on like week 7 or whatever, so
It's almost got 1 million views.
so I'll go with the funeral.
Wow.
But again, the video itself is not hard netting. It's a channel with nothing else on it
Yeah.
and one unlisted video that was found by 30,000.
Or
I
maybe-
think there's something about the internet that's special there.
There may be many unlisted videos. Hey, who knows?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I didn't dig too hard out of respect for the deceased. But hey, whatever.
Huh.
It's on the internet now. Adam, just
Yeah.
yeah, where do you fall on this one?
I like that this video is making me ask questions, whereas the Marvel Olympics are just, it's pure entertainment. But now I'm really questioning if I want to hire these dudes for my funeral.
Oh man.
All right.
Wait a
so-
minute.
Or other people's funerals who don't even want them there.
I think them being for sale diminishes it.
no, that you, well, no, you
I don't
don't.
think they're
This
for
should be their friends. This should be,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think
you
it's
don't
different.
bring Vikings
No, there's
in.
there's
to
no
just
there's no
light your
monetary
fire.
exchange. They get to know that they got someone into like rave heaven, and
They call it
I'm just saying
Raven.
for you.
Every rave is rave heaven.
well, yeah.
Well, all right. Techno funeral
The
takes
casket
it.
looks open, by the way.
Oh no, it does. Yeah, absolutely. It's
This might just be practice.
that's the. I think that guy's holding something like maybe that looks like the lid, but I can't.
And there's a
tell.
pirate ship in the background too.
What?
See that?
Holy shit! There is.
What if
They're doing it right next to
That's at a
a
resort
mini
or something?
putt.
maybe this is just an alternate reality where this is the norm,
Oh,
and
sure.
this is the first footage we got of it. Like how excited / disappointed would you be if someone said we opened up a time rift and we found alternate dimensions and this is the only footage we have?
So just as a
love
cutting
it.
room floor content, there's a miraculous image that didn't make hard none, but I really liked.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Was that from a frame in the Sonic comic?
I hope so.
Huh.
There's just so much implied.
Not
What's-
Dr. Eggman.
Little ears
Somebody's-
down
Lack
there.
of mustache.
Yeah, you're right.
What's darker, this or Shadow the Hedgehog?
It's hard to say.
Where did you find that image, Lawrence?
Internet. It was posted somewhere.
Okay.
I was like, that's a funny picture. I'm gonna save the link to that.
Funny? There's nothing funny about that. He can't go fast anymore. He's got to slow
I don't
down
know about that one.
and take his
You can still
AZT.
run.
Yeah, he can still go fast. He just have a little bit of an AIDS belly.
I just love how
He already
He
kind
already
of
does,
does.
yeah.
Oh, that's right, he does.
I just love how like it looks like this man is smiling, like it's pillow talk. Sonic.
Oh, like he just finished in him, and he goes, "Oh, by the way,
Oh no!
remember when I ripped your anus asunder?
Hold on.
You now have
I want to
AIDS."
give Sonic
Oh, that's a meme thing. Get out of here. Y'all got to try harder with your damn memes. Damn.
You clicked on it.
I
Did you
gotcha.
hear
What's
that, internet? An adult just yelled at you and said you need to try harder with your memes.
Ooh.
What the hell is that?
That's Sonic
Well,
farting
Sonic ass.
his way up to.
Looked like he was shitting.
Oh, I want that weight
Weight loss
belt.
belt. That guy literally got that body by wearing a belt.
So I tried to look up Sonic AIDS belly, and well,
Man, I love Sonic. Look at this.
Look at
Oh,
wait.
Eggman's inside
whoever.
Oh yeah, inside the woman.
I'll get
inside
you,
her,
Sonic.
controlling her to lure Sonic in.
Is that Amy?
I like how
No,
straight
it's
they
not
all
Amy.
stand.
Whoop. Oh shit.
Well, they couldn't animate it. This is like
Stop it.
It's one of those comic makers.
Yeah.
They just drop the.
I think
Yeah.
you're right, Bruce. Look.
Yeah, it's
Honker
definitely
the Hedgehog. Nice.
Honker.
Anyway,
Oh, you can make that in Sonic Forces?
no, that was just a joke.
That'd be amazing.
This is like a Newgrounds thing. God. How come AIDS belly brings up all these ripped abs? Is that what it's like?
Well, you don't want to show him what it really looks like.
Right.
I mean, I guess not. That was a really unattractive bus stop ad. Well, hey, oh yeah, we got some announcements. In a podcast about yanking too much money out of people. Give us more of your money. Yeah, always topical. We're the good guys, remember?
So we
We
said
got
we were
some-
good guys.
Yeah. We got some merch for you.
I know.
Underwears, $14.95.
Oh, cool.
That's
I haven't
on-
seen those.
Yeah, that's on the store. They're right there.
Oh, shit.
Go get them.
Cool.
You can see there's an ample dick pouch, which means I won't have much use for it, but hopefully you guys will find comfort there. We got a Faces tee.
Woo.
That's this one right here. All your fancy family friendly
steal that
Funhouse
barcode.
friends, right on your shirt.
That's James.
I can't
James
unbag this
Elise,
one because
Adam.
Peak.
yeah, it's peak in
you,
the upper right there.
Lawrence.
Yeah, and then
Is that Peak?
Oh,
Oh, that's Adam.
are you tired of the famous people in Funhouse? Because there's another one that has Benson, Bones, Omar, Don, and the rest.
That's John.
I know.
Jeez. John, Jacob, and Dan.
Yeah. It's I dare say that the cartoon versions of them are cuter than us.
I would agree.
Well,
and
they
this is limited edition too.
Yeah, limited edition.
It is by how much? Oh, it just
Ah.
says limited edition.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
limited.
they originally this was fan art, and so we got it turned into. I think it was like our banner. So merch came to us and like, oh, do you think they make a shirt? I said, sure. Contact the artist.
Art.
Yeah, make
Fan art became art.
Art,
But
actual art.
what they originally tried doing was fitting all of us, including Benson,
wow.
on the shirt, and it was just too much. It ended up like making weird shapes and stuff. Like it looked like a star system.
Uh-oh.
I know. And so I said, well, can we split it up and can we do like an alt version for people who are really tired of looking at our dumb faces?
And so they did.
It did, and I'm really glad because the art was all amazing, and I'm glad we got everyone involved.
So support our sweet boys. by buying a shirt, $24.95. Both of those, man, those look comfy, real stretchy.
Those are the best kind.
Yeah,
Keeps it all secure.
makes you feel like a secret agent, and you're strapping up on those guys.
Wouldn't say that. More of like a male porn star.
Back to this. Well, thanks for listening this week. Boy, do I hope they will settle on some kind of deal where they can sell a game for $50 or whatever with shitloads of crap in it, and then just give me the rich old man version that just gives me all the stuff. Just let me have the stuff. I want my stuff. EA,
Give them stuff.
you hear me?
Anthem's going to be the greatest game of all time.
No.
Oh
Microtransactions
no,
out
I'm
the
so
yeah.
worried about that.
Man.
Oh, man.
Bioware's done. I
They're like-
said it. Remember I said that.
Brave.
Wait, is it BioWare?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Bioware.
Oh, yeah.
They're EA, man. EA wants that money. I mean, to your point, they saw Destiny and their mouth started watering.
Oh, yeah. Everyone did.
But Destiny doesn't even have like cruel microtransaction crap.
It has them, but it's all cosmetic.
Oh yeah, you're right. Shaders and things.
What
Good
is
for
it?
you.
The Eververse.
Yeah, you're
They're
right.
it's like an Overwatch loot box basically. They're
Nice.
like level up, you get a box. Woo! You want to
Oh,
buy
yeah.
more? Totally optional.
The bright
It's all
engrams.
cosmetic.
We give you a little bit for free.
Can't buy weapons. Can't buy armor.
Well, thanks for listening this week. Thank you so much to everyone that decided to spend an hour with us and weather the storm, the anal storm that we shot upon them.
What?
Yep.
Man,
That was in the fan fiction.
Yeah. That I printed off intentionally. How'd you read? I read that in bed last night. It was a good nighttime reading. We'll be back next week with more topical discussion and wonderful good times. Post shows coming up if you're watching live. Smack my mic there. That's where we look at some fan art, read some comments, give real health advice to people because we are all licensed doctors and lawyers. We're licensed lawyers, doctors, psychologists, real estate attorneys,
We're not any of those
we
things.
should just rename it Professional Help.
historian. I'm
Pretty good.
biblical historian.
I think Loveline's gone. We could do that.
It does exist, but it's an afternoon show now.
Oh,
Yeah.
lame.
Who's fucking in the afternoon?
Nobody.
Nope.
Nobody.
No, well, like new Loveline is. I saw they're like from noon to 3. Loveline is like unemployed people. Like, I guess that's their target demographic
They have
now.
sex a lot.
Well, it used to be because it was always late at night, and that's when all the teens would call and be like, "I don't know why my butt hurts." Like your dad touched
Is the
you.
podcast over?
I need to
It's
finger
going well.
myself. Yep, we're done. All right, thanks everybody. See you next week. Let's see.
Some call me Dr. Drew.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, Chewbacca's locked out, right?
Yes.
And that last guy had Chewbacca. Yeah, he was pulling some
Well,
shit.
isn't there also hasn't EA Dice come out and said like this may currently just be the scheme for pre-release stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we set it high. I don't know if they made a step, but that was like a theory that maybe